Mostly what we did is that we held the bus till you joined.
Yeah, thank you. I heard you were discussing office things. So,
Okay, so we closed till 18th of the qualities what one should have. Now we'll go to 19 to 24. So where did we end was that bhaya udvegaha, like udvijyate. Udvijyate is agitation, whereas udvegaha is anxiety. So what I found out is that as long as agitation exists in the mind of making an existence possible, so long anxiety is going to be there. As soon as the the udvijya is not there, then udvega also goes away along with that. So they both are interlinked. Meaning to say, if there is an agitation to five sense object, either I am creating an agitation in other person's mind, or they are creating agitation in my mind through their five senses, then the anxiety is going to be 100%, because the anxiousness is to either possess that five sense object or to get rid of that five sense object. So this is the problem. As an example, I have an aversion towards hospital. So nowadays I'm going to my son's hospital. Even that I never used to go inside the hospital. I used to go towards the college. So few days ago I was thinking that how come some people like to be in hospital? They really enjoy being in hospital. That means there is a conditioning which I have put, which creates that anxiety of being in hospital. So what I did is he had to go and get something done. So I wanted to sit and meditate there to see what happens. And I had a beautiful meditation, but then there the mobile doesn't work. So the place where I was sitting, that was the only reason I had to come out of the hospital, because if he finishes his work, then he would be searching. But it was such a nice experience to see patients coming in and doctors moving out, and I am sitting and meditating there, which never had happened earlier. So the agitation which was there on hospital, I can't say that now it is completely off. So I've asked one another doctor. She works for another hospital here. This is not an Ayurvedic kind. This is an allopathic kind. So I want to go and sit with her and go through the wards to see what happens when I see blood and other thing, and can I meditate. If I can do that, then this anxiety will go away. The beautiful part of that is, if I am by whatever reason go to the hospital, if I am not well, then that agitation is not at all there, because it doesn't create the five sense perception at all. So that's what I am trying to practice. Why I'm telling you this is, if that doesn't work out, let's say I cannot come out of this udvega, anxiety, then the next 19 to 24, what he says will not happen. It's anapekshaha, shuchihi dakshaha, udasinah gatavyatah, sarvaramba parityagi, yahamad bhaktah sakne priyah. So anapekshaha, that is without expectation. So now hospital is somewhere I am expecting it not to be. That is, I am trying my hard to not to enter into hospital. So there is again back to conditioning. So it comes back to adveshta is not there. So it means dvesha exists. So the anxiety is to get out of that dvesha. So the anapekshaha shuchihi, the mind is not pure. Dakshaha, it is not alert, because it is creating the concept of hospital. So the concept of hospital is created through the symbol. So the plus symbol represents hospital, because that is what our mind has been conditioned to believe. and then there is a building, and there is some smell of phenyl and Dettol and all of that. And then there are some people who are wailing, and they are in pain, and there are some instruments, and they are suffering, and nobody likes suffering, and then all of those things happen. But if I were to consider the doctors and nurses who are also humans, and they are enjoying being in hospital, that shows two things. This aversion tendency is as bad as liking tendency of the doctor. So in the case of doctor and nurse, they have raga, and in case of me, I have dvesha. So it should be literally balanced out, meaning no raga and dvesha. So I need to practice this to come out of the anxiety of seeing blood and other fluid. If that doesn't happen, then this apeksha is going to be there. And because apeksha happens, then the purity is lost, alertness is lost, concern happens, because it is udasinaha is non-concerned or unconcerned, whereas asinaha is completely concerned. I am concerned about what happens to me if I enter into hospital, and if I get admitted, and the pain I have to undergo, and all of this is imagination thing which is happening. And gatavyataha, that is untroubled. Now it's not gatavyataha, it becomes completely gati oriented. It is I'm totally troubled. And sarvarambha parityagi, that is arambha is to begin. That is anything that has a beginning which is going to end, I have to leave that. So if I name something, it's going to start and it's going to end. So I had to renounce all of this name and form creation. So if there's a hospital, and I create a hospital in the mind separated out of the home, what I am today, both are building only, and both having beds. So there's no difference actually. If I, and in my home also there is Dettol, there is phenyl, and there is the same toilet, and everything is there. There is no difference. There's only white sheets, and then let's say the nurse is going to be wearing some kind of dress, and the doctor is wearing some other kind of dress. But then, since this gets established, the intention of not being in hospital, that is, the hospital gets established in the mind, then the anxiety takes over. So I am concerned, I am troubled, and I am not alert, and I am impure, and I want not to enter into hospital. In fact, today I need to take him to the college and hospital. So I'm thinking of sitting in one nice place there where people exist and they are in pain of whatever ailment they are facing, and creating a loving kindness to them. I want to sit and meditate. So that is a good thing I can do for people who are troubled. So today I want to do that, which will establish the kshama as well as the maitri, karuna, and all of that. And there won't be any dvesha. So this is these 24 of them get spoiled of four things. One is the mama, that is myself, and then the ahankara, then creating the loka, that is the agitation of the loka or creating agitation in another person, and finally it is about this anxiety. Anyone wants to add anything apart from what I said, or what you want to do?
You can go ahead, Lata. I have nothing much to tell on this. anxiety. And anyway, I had agitation, I already told yesterday.
Yes.
So that agitation has come down a lot. And anxiety. So I think along with agitation, this anxiety also comes down. That's what I have observed.
Yes. As much as.
Before, correct.
Yeah, Lata. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So as much there's agitation, then there is a kind of anxiety also. I think agitation is created by expectation or whatever, and it you have an expectation of something to happen in some way. It doesn't happen, that agitation comes. Or if you hear some kind of a sound which you don't like, then you get agitated. That's because you have some kind of expectation or what kind of sound you should hear. And then agitation will anyway, if it is there, it will come as anxiety. So I can say that over a period of time, it has not completely gone, but it has reduced to a large extent. So I don't get agitated, I don't get disturbed too much from last year to this year, if I can. From 2019 to 2020, there's a lot of difference. So, but it is not completely gone. But I guess it is very difficult to get it completely gone because you assume that it is done, it is gone, but then something will trigger. So that means it is still there. And when it is getting triggered, it is like you are fully shaken up because when you're trying to work out, you are more aware of what's happening with you and your mind. And then when you observe when it is shaken, there are so many things which will come up to your top of your mind, which you thought you have already handled. So it is like only that it has got settled down somewhere, but it has not gone completely. So it will again come up in some form. So that's what I am observing. But it is reduced a lot. It is not that every day I get agitated. It is now it's only once in a while. That too not to a large extent, but it is a little bit shorter time, I can say. But the way we can observe it is you keep observing your own thoughts and yourself all the time, and then you will be able to know how much you are agitated, how much you are anxious, and what is it that you are expecting, and so on and so forth. So this is what I do. I keep trying to observe myself, my thoughts, what I speak, and how does my mind feel, how long it takes to settle down if something agitates me. So these are the things I observe. So I guess this is the only way to uh, handle this.
Yes, that's right. But if.
And the thing is, actually, when you come into this state, then I feel that you need a deity to take you forward. And then I keep fluctuating. They're up and down like that. So sometimes I leave the deity and sometimes I come back.
Yeah, so one.
So I,
Yeah, sorry, one suggestion I can give you, Lata, is let us say you have this Murugan identity with you. You better
yes,
do that because the next steps what we have for the Bhakta or for getting out of this mental agony of these impressions which causes rebirth, it is good to have a DT which already you have. You have tremendous faith in Muruga. So till you cross to the other side, you can do that rather than relying on the Jnana Yoga. This is what I think would be beneficial for you. Not that you should not take Jnana, you take it, but involve yourself in the Bhakti Marga because that will help you a lot. It will fasten your effort, or rather it will make it really matured very soon, meaning what would have taken years together might just take some months for you to really cross from this side to the other side. Especially the agitation one, what you have, right, that is deep seated. So unless we keep on working it all the waking hours, it's not going to happen. And in our job like this, we can't really promise that agitation will never be there. It's going to be there. So whether this meeting or the next meeting or the next meeting, whichever meeting, you are going to have a issue coming up, because all the time we cannot see sound as a sound. Somehow it will get mixed up. So then all the impurities which have already got accumulated will come on the surface of the mind, and then the person reacts to it. So if we don't have to react, then you need to take a sabbatical kind of thing, work out, and then enter back, which might not be possible. So the next available option is to go with Bhakti Marga, wherein you can take one deity which you already have and confess everything to the deity as soon as it comes up. Let's say the dvesha comes up, or that is hatredness comes up towards something, you pass it down to the deity. And if you are getting some attraction or agitation or anxiety or whatever it is, you can just pass it to that deity. That would tremendously help you.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing always. Unknowingly, I'm doing that.
Okay, then it is fine. No, unknowingly you make it as knowingly. That is, everything you are transferring it to Murga or Krishna or whomever you think is one deity which you rely upon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but you want to talk, or let Padmashri speak, or how it is?
Padmeshwari can go ahead. I'll talk after that.
Okay.
It's interesting to listen others' view.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, Padmashri, it is all yours. Hello, Padmashri.
Hello.
Yeah.
In my case, I have changed a lot, is what I feel from what last 2-3 years I have been seeing. Of course, I would. It's not agitation, but I have a lot of I used to have a lot of expectations on me, meaning not about others doing something for me, but more about how things should be. That the expectation has reduced quite a bit, but those are all, most of the expectations are on myself. So for me, it is reduced quite a bit, but it is not gone. I can say only it is 50% reduced. I still have a lot of expectations about myself. I generally, my expectations on the others is very less, so I don't get agitated by the others, uh, but I get agitated by myself. And there is no anxiety it leads to, but then every time I get agitated, I after finishing that episode, I just get very irritated with myself again that I got agitated. So this is almost like a loop which used to happen, but now I feel a lot more at peace with myself, in the sense that if it is possible, I do it. If it is not possible, I just postpone it. I still have it, meaning I still want to complete a lot of things, but then I don't have that. That agitation is not there. That aggression or agitation of wanting to finish something is not there. I want to do it. It's not that my this one wants, meaning wanting to do something has reduced. It is just I take it as it comes now. So my expectation on myself has reduced, because of which agitation has reduced, is what I feel. With respect to office and office related things, I used to earlier get, meaning if I had to convey something and I felt it was absolutely necessary for me to make the other person understand my point of view. Nowadays, I don't feel that one at all. I tell it, most often they understand. If they don't, I leave it a little bit of time, because at some point in time it will be understood, and then I also try to evaluate whether my point of view is the right or not right. So I don't get agitated from what happens with respect to official things. I feel there's a lot of difference in me, but I would also attribute it to the situation that we are not meeting most of the people now. It's only sound. Whether sight and sound put together has a different effect, I don't know, but I would say sound has got lesser effect on me now. The last.
Okay, very good. Excellent. So it's good keeping on working like that. It will help. Actually, Padma Shri, next time you get that agitation with yourself, you can see there is also anxiety to correct something within you. There's an anxiety that has to be there. Otherwise, agitation cannot stay without anxiety. You can just check it out. Meaning, when you want to correct something yourself, there is an anxiety that
Yeah,
you did a mistake or whatever you did.
correct, correct. It is there. Yeah, what you're saying is right.
So first thing is to do is to remove these 5 sense object, and then the anxiety also goes away. So that is a practice what we need to do, either through watching sound and taste and touch and smell and sight. Then the thoughts get liberated. Actually, the no thoughts will be there if we are able to establish without these sense objects. The senses become purified, and because senses is purified, they are not
Okay.
able to make any thought patterns.
Right. Because my only doubt about myself is this happening because you are having less opportunity to see, because see, your eyes are not getting tested as much as it was getting tested earlier. You are very right, because all these perceive something, meaning all these pick up something, and it is the mind which is acting.
Correct.
So mind is the one which is starting to put colors and painting pictures of the whole thing. Now the problem is that there's a lot of inputs which are not available. I'm talking about mostly things that used to be affecting me when I was in the office, meaning official things, meaning with respect to my work. The things which were getting affected, they had a lot of inputs. Where you had to see people, you had to attend meetings, you had to see their body language, what they had. Now, is it, I'm just questioning myself, is it that this piece is really something which I'm working on, because of which it has come, or it is also because that I'm not having enough inputs?
That can be
That
true.
is why my thoughts are not.
Yeah, that can be true, but actually, Padma Shri, if you are able to take over one of the sense, that means, say, if you are able to master one of the sense object, then it will reflect automatically upon all the remaining 4. Maybe not in 100% efficiency, but then you will have a greater efficiency. Let's say
Right.
the sound you are able to maneuver without getting agitated of the sound, like the cat example what you gave the other day. So when you have recognized the cat, the mind has already created the cat, right? Whether you have seen the cat
Yeah.
while it was doing whatever it is doing or not, it doesn't matter, but the mind created the cat. Now cat is a rupa in the mind. So whether you see it physically or you don't see it physically, it doesn't really matter. Similarly, when you are having meetings in the mornings till evening, even though we have not seen each other for long, we already created the image, and the image comes up irrespective of how the person looks right now. So while I am talking to 3 of you, I have already have the image of 3 of you. Maybe your body has changed a little bit. You might have become fat or lean or aged or whatever it is, but that doesn't really make any difference to my image. It's already created. So if we are able to take over one of the sense object, then it doesn't really matter. So when you go to office after 15, whenever the office you are going, you can watch it. It will be less, irrespective of whether
Yes.
you are seeing them or not.
Right. What you exactly told is what I feel. It is like, see, when you say if you are getting too agitated and if you feel that you require some time to get control of yourself, take a sabbatical. And when you come back, you will not go back to your original meaning. Previous to the sabbatical, you don't go. Here it is almost like one of the senses is gone on sabbatical with
Yes.
respect to that.
Yes, exactly. We all have taken 1 year
So
sabbatical.
slowly it is decreasing. The thought process is the image I have made, but then it is slowly fading away. Meaning, with 1 year of not seeing, you no more attach the same thing. It is not getting refreshed on everyday basis.
Correct.
So I feel the site has gone on sabbatical with respect to office activities.
Yes, absolutely. So we already, God has given us a good, what we can say, environment for to be in sabbatical. So this March 7th, if I don't come on March 7th, it will be 12 months after I see in the office. So 1 year sabbatical, where you can work on the site, which is good actually. Anyway, nice. Yeah, but now it is your turn.
Yeah. The question is about Atanka, Udvega and Atanka, right? That is agitation and anxiety.
Yes.
Yes. I think we have discussed about agitation. I used to get, because when I used to plan something, I always plan things. I will have a huge, to-do list, both office as well as home, and something systematic planning. If it doesn't go, it naturally I used to get upset. Uh, so during that time, that agitation will be naturally will be there, because then you will not have patience to listen to other person. So one way more planning and other person is not working in a planning way, the conflict starts. So that was there very long in my life throughout, and I think after the spirituality journey started, it is reduced. There is a degree of reaction with other people when things are not going well. That has reduced. But the thing is, externally reduced, but internally is a question.
Yeah, it's
Internally, reduction is a slowly, yeah. I used to hold it. So that is also not a good. It should not be there even internally also. But in the past 2 years, then I am in a position to even properly control to the extension where I could control. Maybe now little more. It's required much more than this, but then I have to be slightly away from transaction world. That's the reason my interaction with the society and all that have reduced a lot, and it got some benefit also. So aggression has reduced, I can say. So the next is anxiety or atanka. Uh, Again, if the results are not coming, just before those moments, what is going to happen? That atanka used to be there. What that other person will react, and during that atanka or anxiety time, inside the stomach, you feel that butterfly kind of feeling. Whether it will go the way what you think or not. Wherever I have seen such kind of feeling, always it will be the negative side also. It never used to materialize. Then I started this something called prayer or bhakti yoga. Sitting systematically, bringing that chitta shuddhi. With chitta shuddhi, then atanka is reduced. Then whether it happens or not, you don't care. Because the moment you start caring too much about that, the same thing will happen. You don't care so much on the result part, you just worry about the enjoying the activity what you are doing. That is in the sthiti. That you enjoy with the same planning. Use instead of planning on somebody else, planning on yourself. Just change that. Then I found the results are very positive, because already a deity in front of me, that is my Kula Devata, Durga, and then prayers, sincere prayers, and daily basis doing all that, Sanjayana and also yoga and all this practice plus the spirituality morning and evening. It brought my anxiety to the very, very, very low level, I can say. It's a huge progress since 1 year after pandemic. It is very good growth. As you mentioned, sabbatical or kind of something happened, because earlier my time was a huge. I was running against time, 3 hours on the cab, and then taking calls and attending emails. It is so much. But actually, my productivity is improved. That means my efficiency improved. Now that anxiety has come down. Now again, I have to experiment after going to office. I have to see that how it works. I felt very comfortable with that. Now whatever I do, I just think that result, don't worry, just keep doing your work. And what more you expect in this society? You have nice panchendriyas, enjoy. And then do sadhana. That is what your ultimate goal. Remaining, if it comes, enjoy it. If it doesn't come, don't worry anything. Have more fun. So I am trying to tune my mind to that. I think it started with your Patanjali yoga, and after that Tattva Bodha and all that, then Bhagavadgita, na? All that has helped me throughout. So that way my anxiety or atanka has reduced a lot. I'm much better. But the sadhana point of view, because it is in the bhakti yoga, na, maximum is in the bhakti yoga, this Veda, and I am in the bhakti marga maximum. I think I should now reduce that bhakti also, depending on a deity or keeping some space inside my chitta for that. Then instead of that, clear the chitta, have a clean chitta. So that should be the journey. But I think still a lot of things to do is my feeling, because I am so much interested to read many things like what Lata reads, but I am not able to manage that kind of time. Because I have something in mind that I should read. Based on there are so many things which we have done in India, and so many people have written so many things. At least if I get at high level those inputs, say 10 Upanishad and these 4 Vedas and Brahma Sutra, these are the main things. And then beyond that, Patanjali, Ayurveda, and so many things around that. That interest is there with me. I don't know whether it is possible to do it or not. That also will help me definitely to divert from this transaction world to the real the knowledge, which is very close to the spiritual knowledge. All these are either talking about the inner things or talking about Atma. So the combination, it works very fine with me.
Very good.
I don't know whether I properly responded.
No, it is okay. I mean, you have responded. So if I were to bring out a story of yours, I still remember your perplexity when I had come first time to ABB without any notebook and a pen. And you had given me a pen, and you had given me a paper from the printer when we were supposed to go and meet Vinod. The perplexity and the anxiety and confusion which was created in your mind about how can PMI recommend somebody like this who doesn't even bring anything at all to the meeting. So I was watching your mind, how it was going. So from that till today, it is exceedingly different is what I can say. So the entire meeting with Vinod, you were worried about what is going to happen because you have recommended, and whether it will go through or all of that, and the anxiety which you have developed because of expectation, and you are expecting me to be in a proper attire, and I was not in that proper attire what you expected it to be. So you were challenged on that day, and I was able to watch it. I didn't say anything to you on that day, but considering that, and today it is very good. I can see a very drastic change in you. That much I can say.
Yeah, that is true.
And I don't know what you had felt on that day, but I was seeing you such a anxious, agitated person internally. Externally, you were able to talk normal, but internally, you were very much worked up.
That's perfect statement.
So you were thinking, how can PMI do like this to you? That was your first impression after meeting me, and before we met Vinod. Okay, good. So what?
Yeah, one question.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Because once when we start doing all this kind of no expectation, no agitation, and all that, it's a kind of a don't care attitude comes, or others perceive you as like that.
Correct.
Because my daughter keeps telling me that you don't care about anything. You are not caring about this way or that way. So, and then she knows that I'm fully into that spirituality and all that stuff. And she keeps telling me that. But I don't care. I care about anything. Meaning, not that I don't care about her, but in general, I don't care about the things. So, I don't know whether that's the right thing to have or it is something, because I heard the word, but was also telling don't care much.
Yes. So you
So
are.
how is that perceived by others?
Yes. So now, recently I found out, Lata. It's a good thing. Very recent. It's a maybe hardly a month or two. I think so. Maximum 2 months. What I got a vision is that, or this I didn't share with any one of you, that what I felt for the world, when you are interacting with the world, you should be that world. You can't be away from the world. So what I did with Bhatt on that day was not right, was not appropriate. I should have taken necessary thing, like, it's like taking bath. So I can't put a no care attitude of bath and brushing teeth and wearing a cloth and all that. That is required. So all that what is required, including taking care of the family and all of that, but shouldn't be attached. So he says that in 24th, in the, what is that? We have come till 30. So yeah, 34, 5 or 34th one. He says it should be Sangha Vivarjitaha. That means say that should not be attached to that, but that doesn't mean that we should not be doing the worldly things when we are interacting with the world. So what it means is, when interacting with the five sense object, I need to be doing what I am supposed to be doing. So what I did with Bhatt, no matter whether it was spiritual or it was indifferent attitude or it was carelessness or whatever that can be put as a perception by the other person, because that other person is not spiritual. So I shouldn't give a room like that. So when it comes to our own children and wife and husband and all that, we should not care internally, but externally we should do all that what will is required, because the lokat na udvijate cha yaha and yasmat na udvijate lokaha. That is I have created agitation in the mind of Bhatt, which is not good actually. Because of me he suffered, to be honest. So if I had carried the notepad along with pen and proper attire, then I wouldn't have done himsa on Bhatt. And that vision I had got, I think, a month or two back. I'm not able to recollect which day it is, but it was a very clear vision to say what I should be doing when I'm interacting with the world. So good question, Lata, you brought it up. I totally forgotten about that. So when we are doing our daily things with people, we should consider them like ourselves and do all that what is required to take care of them. Even though the other person feels that I am attached, or let us say I am very much interested in my son and wife, and then somebody looking at me and says that, oh, you are too attached with your family, don't take in any sense at all, because you have to do this. If it is world, then you have to come to duality. You cannot do anything about it, because world is dual.
Yeah, that is fine. So it's not that I don't do anything. I do whatever is required. Everything, I spend time with her. I also watch some TV shows with her, and then she keeps checking whether I'm really lagging or I'm putting up with her. But then she can see through me. So
No,
she says,
yeah, no, she can see through you because you are doing udasina, unconcerned. You're not concerned about it. I mean, you are just doing because of doing. That you shouldn't make that person see, because you are harming that person. Just like what I did on that day to Bhatt. I was harming him.
that is acting, no? Then you have to keep acting.
The whole world itself is acting. See, that is what we need to learn, that we have to do the best of our action. just like the movie actor, his name is different, but the character role what is given to him is different, and he has to read the script and perfectly do as though he is that person. This is what the consciousness is supposed to be doing. So I brought this up about Bhatt's interaction and myself on that day, and at that time my maturity was not good. Even though I was looking from very spiritual thing, it was not appropriate. Okay, because that will lead a bad impression in that person's mind because of the agitation what has been created by me. So if I take that yasmat na udvijyate lokaha, that is he by whom the world is not agitated. Now what I did was that when I met him, I made his world get agitated. His senses got agitated, looking at the inappropriate thing what has happened. So that is wrong. So I should have carried the necessary things. Whether he treats me spiritual or not spiritual, that is secondary. But I should have done that, which I didn't do. So the action, the actor and the action should be perfect.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, but for causing discomfort to you.
No problem, Vilas. I think what is there in my it's today you have spoken very well.
Yeah. So I really.
I think if you no if you go with again that punarjanma concept, I think somewhere something this transaction was required. I think to nullify both side effects.
Yep. Correct. So whatever we are supposed to do in the world, we have to do with that garb, like an action, like an actor who is signed up for a movie and knowing very well that it is the whole story is fabricated, where is getting married and something is happening and some workup is happening, then all of that things which is happening. So he has to really do the way it should be done. He has to put his heart through as though he is that character. So we all have to do the same thing. And on that day, the vision which came, it showed me that what I was doing was wrong, meaning that I don't care attitude is wrong. I need to care as much as a normal person would care. But the difference between the normal person and me would be that the normal person believes it is true, but I know it is a drama. That's the only difference. So for me it is scripted, for him it is real. That's the only difference. So I can apply all of this because then it's only a drama. I don't apply any one of this because it is real to me. All of this is real. So I will not be free of any one of these states because it is real. In a real state, we cannot really get out of all this anxiety and worry and all of that. It's going to be there. Good. So it's 9:23. 7 more minutes. I think we'll go to the next one. 25 to 30. Yaha na krishyati na dveshti na shochati na kankshati shubha ashubha parityagi bhaktiman yasah me priyah. So krishyati is to rejoice when things happen as expected, whether one's own expectations or others' expectation being met, both are same. Not dveshti, that is when the expectation is not met, self expectation not met or the other person's expectation is not met. Na shochati, grieving for things which are going away. like a death of somebody, or whatever thing happens, taking ownership on somebody's karma creates the grieving tendency. What it means is that when we lose something, can be a mobile phone, can be human being, can be any object or job or whatever it is, that has happened because of the ending of that karma. It's not has happened because it should happen that way. It's just an ending of something, because there is starting of something. So if sarva arambha is going to be there, that is, everything has a beginning, then that is going to end, and anything that ends will ends up in grief, and it will be a very distressful situation. So I get distressed or I get worked up because that object is gone. Let's say I don't have to work any longer, I want to work but it's not working, or there is a separation in the family, or whatever it is. All of that are objects. So when the object gets separated out, it brings in sochana, means grieving. Na kankshati. Kankshati is to desire for a different outcome than the outcome what has happened right now. So these factors, that is, prishyati is the cause for the other things to manifest. When there is rejoicing for things which has happened, the expectation is met, then there will be situation when the expectation will not be met, either within himself or herself or through others. So then both of them create a scenario wherein there is a dvesha, that things have not happened as per my expectation. I had done so much of planning and so much of thing, and it's not because of they didn't do it, I was not able to guide them, I was not able to do this. So this person, like in my case, will start grieving for that. That shouldn't be there, because there is kankshati. So akanksha is deep down desires, which is equivalent to expectation, but this is desired filled expectation. Then there should not be any kanksha, the kankshati. So there is nothing to desire. Shubha ashubha parityagi. So we keep the good and throw the evil, but in this case he has to remove both. Shubha ashubha parityagi. Bhaktiman yah sa me priyah. He is full of devotion, in being in centered, being in middle, is the best. That's what he says. It's 9:27. So if I take the other ones, then it is going to go further. So should we go or should we end here? What do you suggest?
I think today it should be okay. Tomorrow we can continue.
Okay, all right then. So we'll meet tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Lars.
Yeah,
Good day.
Bye.
yeah, good day. Bye.
Bye.